Stacker here. I've been watching a few videos on the manipulation of silver, and over the past few years, I've been, watching interviews on CEOs of mining companies and investment brokers, and I also personally know a few investment brokers and such. And one in particular I go and have coffee with once in a while. But I wanted to talk to you about the manipulation of silver and the point of view that most people don't think about, because a lot of people that do videos on these views of the manipulation of silver think about it on the short term, and this is not my opinion. This is just another angle for you to think about, something for you to think about, that maybe most people miss. I'm not an investment expert. I'm not a CEO of some investment corporation or some mining corporation, but and this is really not my opinion. It's just a view. Some people give you their opinion and maybe try and pound it into your head over and over on their videos and such, but it's just their opinion. I don't want to do that because I don't want to sound like a blowhard, So just something to think about. Silver manipulation in the short term doesn't really have an effect on the natural spot price that's noticeable in any way, for the most part. That's called spoofing. But there's an effect on the natural movement of the spot price over a long term. Investors in any kind of stock, not just in silver, but in any kind of stock, will lose confidence and not want to invest in that stock or whatever the case may be. And, the same thing happened to silver. Not only has silver been manipulated in the past by spoofing, but spoofing has really just been a tool that the central banks have used because they were caught with their pants down, basically. When there was during the housing market crash, some people really wanted to get a hold of physical silver and have that, and the central banks had been selling all this paper and didn't actually have the silver. So that's how they were caught with their pants down. So as a tool, they used spoofing. And what they were doing was they were buying and selling between the central banks, buying and selling paper silver, and using the profits by driving the price up and down during the selling and buying. They were using the profits to purchase actual physical silver. And that's called holdings. Over the past 8 years or so, the natural course of the spot price of silver has been altered just a little bit at a time, very minute. Investors got less and less confident because they've seen the price of silver rise and fall sharply. This became known as the norm. Thus, silver became a safe haven rather than an investment. So let's talk about a little more about silver and gold and how they correlate. Um, as technology moved forward, silver became more of an industrial product. But over time, there's less and less silver coming out of the ground every year. Um, to put it simply, for every ounce of gold, there's less silver ounces coming out of the ground. The ratio not very long ago was 14 to 1, and today I believe I'm not positive of this number, but I believe it's 8 to 1. 1 ounce of gold for every 8 ounces of silver. Now, it's like half of what it was even just 15 years ago. Um, Gold is becoming more and more an industrial product too, and most people don't realize it. You know, Gold conducts electricity better in the long term rather than the short term because it doesn't tarnish. Um, that's a whole nother subject though. Gold and silver can both be pulled out of the ground as a byproduct. More people own gold than they even realize, because if you have natural stone countertops, like marble, quartz, such as that, if you really look at your countertops, you see flakes of gold everywhere, and it's real gold. And some even have veins of gold running through them. I know, I've been in the construction business in the past. Other things are, if you do a Google search and find out how much gold is used just in cell phone production every year, just cell phones, man, it'll shock you. I mean, there's a lot of gold being used in technology today, more and more. Not quite as much as silver, but it's climbing and it's getting there. Again, these are things that have been pointed out to me by personal conversations as well as public interviews. Interviews on TV, interviews on the internet, things like that. And this is not my opinion. I'm no expert, just like, many other people on the internet, on YouTube. They're giving their opinions. They're not experts. I'm not an expert. I'm not claiming to be. It's just another point of view that I thought maybe everyone would like to, look at the manipulation of silver from a different point of view. That's all this is. And I know there's going to be some people that have, some negative comments and say, well, this and that. That's fine. Leave your comments. And I'm not trying to insult anybody or anything like that. And leave your comments also, on your views of the long-term effects. It's kind of like if you look at it in a timeline, should I have taken a left turn here? Should I have taken a right turn here at this point in time? What would have happened if I would have done that instead of doing what I did? The same thing with the spot price of silver manipulation. And, although there's been some gold manipulation, it's very, very minute compared to silver. So, go ahead and comment on it and hit the like if you want, or the dislike. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to me. Have fun, everyone. See ya!